This is where your alliance congregates.
I hope this isn't overwhelming.
The stories from this trip will make good fodder when I return. Gossip sits in their bellies like a fresh harvest.
You'll get plenty of that. How can I prepare you for the audience?
Honey wine, but we've none to spare. I'll be fine. We've hosted travelers over time, with little more to bargain besides information. I'm not unaware of the world. Just been a long time since we've needed to seek aid from others.
You and I are aligned, at least.
Good. After you, Wayfinder.
All members are present. Welcome, leadership from the Pact. Finally. The room is getting fuller by the day. We can begin.
We thank the Council for their discretion and speed. Your summons said as much, but recent developments are troublesome.
Are the cryptids back? Are they not so contained?
A different threat. Warden Frode, your report?
A Titan has been sighted in Janthir. A few of my astral ward in the area got a good look after it fled into the bay.
A Titan? I've certainly read of them. The burning of Ascalon. The door of Komali. Stories filled with deception. Are you sure?
Yes. Multiple first-hand accounts of a giant insectile beast. The ward is gathering all the readings we can.
Our records are likely dated, mind you. And this one may be more evolved than the hive we've encountered before.
Luckily, the commander was in the right place at the right time. Witnessed the attack alongside Kaith and Imperator Malice.
Oh yeah, well, that's convenient.
Counselor.
It's all true. While working with the Astral Ward in Janthir, we encountered the Coden of Harvesten. We sought to establish diplomatic bonds with them on behalf of Queen Jenna when the Titan attacked. Its spawn kept us busy while it fled into the bay, smart enough to avoid a fight. But my experience is limited. Today I've brought Stoic Alder, the claw of the Lowland Coden, to share his. Fired up!
We noticed a change 3 seasons ago. The wildlife reacted first. They fled south. Bearkin went missing. We kept our suspicions level. It could have been any great creature. Janthir is fierce. But then, the land started to sour. I assumed it was your cryptis. But those ones attacked our mines, not the grasslands. This is a very different beast. My bearkin have lived in Janthir longer than your cities have stood tall. We know danger well. We respect its boundaries. But this being mats my fur. Whatever a Titan is, whatever this creature seeks, we should be cautious. The fact that he's taken refuge near the ruins of Bavanisos paints an uncertainty that we shouldn't allow to brew.
How many are there? One, you say?
That we've confirmed. He fled to the north while his spawn kept us distracted. Even the little one was nasty.
Titans are not solitary. We'd know if there were 20. But I'd expect at least 2, maybe 6. And I don't count their spawn.
What does the Astral Ward advise? This feels like the definition of your expertise.
I'd like to hear that too. The Astral Ward should offer the Scepter of Ore.
Lady Livia, do I want to know what happened to the poor guards stationed at the door?
I haven't protected that thing for a century and a half for it to collect dust and foul memories. Lost to time, I thought. You have the scepter?
We do. The lady surrendered it not long ago. Safer in my reserves than a velvet crypt beneath divinity's reach.
You know it's a good idea, Iskarin.
I don't know this legend. What is this Scepter of Ore? A weapon?
Legavo. Cast from raw magic by the seers. It was made to control beasts from the mists.
A solution perfectly sculpted to our problem. The answer is dropped into our laps.
The scepter should remain dormant.
And why's that, Your Majesty?
Pick a legend. That is a history caked in blood. All of its wielders have met some ill-carved fate.
Besides myself, of course. And she looks great.
Until we know what we're dealing with, I'd sooner pick up a sword again than leave our fate to archaic mysticism.
Stubborn as Linus. Your mother would be horrified.
Enough! Are we walking on coals? Queen Jenna, if you don't see this as feasible, what do you propose?
The scepter is an extreme solution to a fresh problem. We should send the commander back to Janthir to learn more.
I agree with the Queen. We don't know nearly enough about the threat at hand, or how useful the scepter would be here.
Well, I think we should get it over with and just try the damn thing. What are we risking here?
This creature is closer to my borders than yours. And Stoic Alder's Coden are even closer. Harming our people is the risk.
Letting this thing roam about is just as dangerous to them.
Perhaps. But the scepter could do much worse. We are simply at an impasse.
Then what do we do?
We vote on it.
It's a sound motion. We did form the Alliance for a reason.
Someone will be disappointed with the decision. Or dead.
Ideally, these Titans, and not us.
The Queen is right. I don't think everyone is going to agree.
And so we vote. Take some time to think. When everyone is prepared to make their decisions and has returned to their places, we'll begin.
Fired up!
I hear everyone's concerns, but between us, I don't know. We've endured so much pain already. Can you blame anyone for wanting to end things quickly?
Kinda speaking from experience here, but leaning on ancient magic isn't worth the cost.
I wish they could understand that what seems like an easy solution is often muddied with complication. But the final call is not mine. It can't be if we seek genuine unity. But whatever is chosen, we will live with it.
The Seers were... are frustrating collaborators, not overly fond of sharing. You saw how specific and arcane the Shining Blade was. Legavo is similarly complex. It tests the will of its user, judges their intent. If the user is found wanting, well, those names have long been lost to time and memory. Isn't it obvious? It saw my intent to bring the White Mantle and their Mersat overlords to ruin for their abuse of the Bloodstones. The sacrifices, King Jaden's death. Ignore me. Musings from long ago. It offered me vengeance. I sent many enemies of Kryta to their oblivion. Probably liked the blood. It was fortunate that Iskarin and I crossed paths when we did, though. Even I have limits. As for you, well, you don't lack for will. Even death couldn't stop you. I wouldn't bet against you. Before those unfortunate bandits, and then myself, its prior wielder was, let's just say, a little problematic. Vizier Kilbron. He was responsible for sinking ore. I'm sure you've heard that particular story many times. While the Scepter wasn't responsible for the cataclysm, it was a very dense situation. Whenever a god is involved, and especially a fiendish one at that, certain cultural anxieties come to light. I don't suggest it lightly, but it was cast to control creatures from the mists. Kilbron used it to control the Titans. There is risk, certainly. We don't know how well it works, or if it does anymore. But we should try. You know my take. If we have a solution, we should use it. If the Astral Ward is so powerful, they owe us a demonstration.
Lot to consider, but I think I know my stance. We'll see how this resolves.
When Queen Jenna invited me to the Alliance, I didn't think things would spice up so quickly. Ilona has a long history with events such as this. I know my response. Think on yours.
I don't know, Commander. I'm prone to agree with the Queen's hesitation. We know so little.
Thankfully, Cantha had not yet closed its borders before the events Dagonet described. I've read of the Titans, and I've read of all that connected them. Abaddon, Shiro. It feels too complicated to make a sudden choice. I'd advise caution, but I see it in your eyes already.
I don't disagree with caution. The risk is critical in dire moments, but I will abide by their decision. Historically, if the Ward needed to take action, we simply took it. I must wait now. I don't want to regret this.
The last delegate has returned to their podium. It is time. All in favor of utilizing the Scepter of Ore to combat the Titan threat, say yay. And those who oppose, preferring the Commander return to Janthir to conduct further research, nay.
We're all so shy. I'll start. Nay.
Nay.
Yay.
Yay!
A firm nay.
Nay.
Krisha.
Yay.
Nay.
Nay.
And we will not be using the scepter. More research is critical before we make such a call.
And when we do need the scepter, are we voting again?
We very well might, Counselor. For now, we are investigating the threat. If more action is needed, we will approach that. Imperator Malice, Kaith, and the Commander will return to Janthir with Stoic Alder immediately. Learn all you're able.
Stoic Alder, do your people have a secure route into the Isles? If Iskarin is correct...
And I am.
Then we should expect the worst. At least one Titan has returned to Tyria.
I've sent scouts to map the ruins before. We can approach from the south, take the river inland, and establish camps. These things threaten my home, my son. My spear will aid this alliance.
Adjourned.
Fired up!
Imperator, I would watch your tone. Anyone but me might disapprove.
My tone? My tone is fine. It's your logic that isn't. This is a Titan we're dealing with. What they did to our people.
Awful. And the things they made us do were worse. But that doesn't mean we should turn to some cursed wand. I hear your opinion. I agree. But you're Ash. Collecting data and understanding every corner is how you rose to Imperator. So, are you level-headed enough to return to the field?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Any strong feelings about the vote, you two?
I'm happy with the result. When we're dealing with gods, or creatures that pretend to be gods, caution must be observed. Maybe they want us to make the obvious choice. There's no way to know until we do our research.
It's certainly not my place. I'm just the royal messenger to the Dominion's great house, after all.
Just the royal messenger. She is very modest.
But I can see both sides. I see the want to dissolve the problem swiftly, and I also see the need to be patient.
Politics can be very delicate indeed. And knowing the song behind your opposition's march is critical in informing your own.
Sure don't envy you two. I just hope this gets cleaned up before anyone else gets hurt.
Foolish. What a silly decision. One more bad report for the Arcane Council. I'll be fine. Just fuming. Move along.
Well, I can't argue with the majority. Their suspicions must be warranted. I just don't want more destruction.
Neither do I, brother.
I wouldn't have advised that call, my queen. I think there's a better option. A smarter option.
It's good you're not her advisor, then.
This is why I don't keep both of you on my shoulder at the same time. Agree to disagree, Lady Livia. You are welcome to express your opinion, but I do not share it.
What was it like?
Horrifying. We've faced many threats, big ones, but this time felt different. I don't want to catastrophize and call it an omen, but this creature escaping or entering from the mists is a scary concept.
You're not catastrophizing. Things that used to be rare suddenly feel like a routine season.
Iskarin, must I remind you that we are trying to prove a point in our participation here?
If we weren't in this alliance, the Titans would be taken care of.
That the Astral Ward does not make quick decisions. We think things through. And you don't know that. We have so few members now. The Spire may be irreparable. And you are tired, my friend. We all need each other. Tyria isn't safe from the mists anymore.
Welcome to Tyrian politics.
I don't envy your status, Wayfinder. My mate was the Globetrotter. I prefer the personal politics of the village council. The Isles should make us nervous. The lowlands are familiar, but we never stay long. If you haven't heard my warnings yet,
Starting to get a good idea.
remain honest, and we'll wash our paws of this. We meet in Janthir.